أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تدليل وأرسل عليهم ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل وجعلهم كعصف مأكول صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Thank you, Zubair Bhatti Saab, for
Thank you very much.
I would invite our president, Mr. Naveedur Rahman, for Naat recitation, please. Mr. Naveed.
Thank you. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Shahe Madina, Shahe Madina, Shahe Madina, Shahe Madina, Yasrab ke wali, सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना, जलवे हैं सारे तेरे ही दम से, आबाद आलम तेरे करम से, जलवे हैं सारे तेरे ही दम से, आबाद आलम तेरे करम से, तू बाकी हर एक शय, बाकी हर एक शय, नक्शे ख्याली सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना, तेरे लिए ही दुनिया बनी है, नीले फलक की चादर तनी है, तेरे लिए ही दुनिया बनी है, नीले फलक की चादर तनी है, तू अगर ना होता, तू अगर ना होता, दुनिया थी खाली, सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना। बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Naveedur Rahman Saab. Thank you. I welcome our keynote speaker of today, Syed Rashid Hussain. Welcome, Syed Rashid Bhai. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thanks a lot, sir.
We have with us Professor Mahir Badar. You must be knowing him. He is from King Fahd University. He was a professor at the King Fahd University. And Professor Mahir, Syed Rashid Hussain lived for many, many years in Al Khobar, and he is now relocated to Canada. He is now speaking, joining us from Toronto, Canada. Welcome, sir. Okay, I would request Naveedur Rahman to play Saudi national anthem, please.
Okay. Now we will present Saudi national anthem.
للمجد والعليا مجدي لخالق السماء، وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر، رددي الله أكبر يا موطني حامل النور المصدر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني. عشت فخر المسلمين عاش الدليل بالعلم والوطن.
Thank you. Mr. Naveed, I think next item is a short
Saudi
video
history.
clip on Saudi history. So please.
Yes. So now
Go
we'll
ahead.
present Saudi history.
On the 23rd of September 1932, King Abdulaziz Al Saud united his territory as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Striking oil in Tehran in 1938, it was the first of many reserves that made Saudi Arabia the largest source of crude oil in the world. In 1945, Ibn Saud met US President Franklin Roosevelt aboard USS Quincy, forming a special relationship that has stood the test of time. He was also one of the founders of the Arab League and is credited for joining Saudi Arabia as a member state of the United Nations. He died in 1953, and the country has been ruled by his sons ever since. Prince Mohammed bin Salman unveiled Vision 2030, an ambitious roadmap for Saudi Arabia's future, a more sustainable future that's less dependent on oil. It includes investments into scientific and emerging technologies, the reintroduction of movies and concerts, and increased rights for women. Planned projects include a $500 billion megacity run on renewable energy called NEOM, and Qiddiya, the world's largest entertainment city. So, while today marks the Arab Kingdom's rich past, it also looks to a bright future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naveed. If I think we have time, you can play a short commercial if you like.
Okay.
Then we'll get on to main thing.
So now we will start a short commercial for Original Juice. This is a product of Saudi Arabia by Union Foods.
Original Juice extracts fresh fruits from the best farms and provides them to your homes. With vitamins, minerals, and a burst of refreshing flavors, Original Juice is a healthy choice for you and your family. Original Juice is available now near supermarkets and superstores. Grab a drink today. Original Juice. Quality in...
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for being patient. Before we move to the main program session, which will be conducted by our senior lady member Shaheen Javed, who is also senior member of our ladies chapter of the club, and she is the media coordinator of the club, in fact. So before I would move on to that, I would like to uh, say a few words about the inception and creation of Pakistan Writers Club. Pakistan Writers Club is basically an association of writers, journalists, and poets, and men and women of art and fine art. And this club was actually founded way back in 1989 by a veteran journalist Gul Mohammad Bhutta, who is now expired. He founded this club in 1989. So you can see it's about 32 years old club. And I founded in my second stint of presidentship on 15 November of 2015, a ladies chapter in the club, because this was a very old demand from our respected lady members of the community, and they wanted to have a platform to, hone their skill of writing and poetry and art and fine art. So when I became president for the second time in 2013, I announced as my mission and vision to create a chapter, and I did that on 15 November 2013. So you can see this ladies chapter is already almost 8 years old. And we have Dr. Farhan Adia, who is a physician doctor, as the fifth convener of the ladies chapter. And we have Mr. Nadibur Rahman, who is IT technologist, and he is the 12th president of the Pakistan Writers Club. So this is a brief history of the club, and the club is going on. Many such associations and clubs and literary or social organizations were created in Riyadh and in the kingdom, and not many are living. And we have the pride and the honor to tell you all that Pakistan Writers Club remains in the forefront and is still living and is still doing fine. And it has survived many ups and downs, and it is still working very effectively. Our ladies chapter is working very effectively. We used to do programs in banquet halls, physical program, but due to this pandemic, we are restricted to doing it online. So since past 2 years, we are doing this program regularly since on online. And let me add here that Pakistan Writers Club is a pioneer club for hosting a Saudi National Day. None of the association and none of the club in Riyadh or in KSA have that credit to their account. And following this tradition by Pakistan Writers Club, Pakistan Embassy under the Ambassador Naimullah, they also observed Saudi National Day in 2016, perhaps. But we, as Pakistan Writers Club and its ladies chapter, we do it regularly every year. Besides celebrating our own National Day of 14 August, we celebrate without break 23rd September as a Saudi National Day. Why? Because Saudi Arabia is our second home, and we have been working here, living here for many years, and many of us maybe from more than 25, 30 years. So this is our home. Our children don't know our country more than they know about Saudi Arabia. So with this, I will finish here, and I will hand over the mic to Shaheen Javed, who is our senior lady member and the founder member of Ladies Chapter also, and she is the current media secretary of the club. And she'll take over and she will move on with the item that will follow. Shaheen, please take over.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. First of all, I would like to thank all of you, and without wasting any further time, I want to say Saudi National Day to everyone. So, respected Chief Guest, Mr. Khalid Al-Mina, Mr. Mahar, and President Navidur Rahman, Sir, Convener Dr. Farah Nadia, and all. On the occasion of Saudi National Day, I, Shaheen Javed, would like to welcome you all on the Pakistan Writers Club and Ladies Chapters platform to celebrate the big day that is Saudi National Day. As Sir said, that we believe that Saudi Arabia is not our second home. We feel that it is our first home because we live here and we spend most of our lives in this country. We thank Allah that Allah have provided us a beautiful place to live. And I would like to thank the King of Nation, Prince Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for providing us such a beautiful, peaceful, and fantastic country. Once Prince Walid bin Talal said, you cannot compare Saudi Arabia to other countries. I'm totally agree with it. There is no comparison. So we love to celebrate Saudi National Day by holding flags and wearing green clothes, decorating our homes with green lights. Most of the time we eat green burgers and also we bake most green cakes. So this is our passion. This is our love towards the country, towards the Saudi National Day. And we always follow these things. So Pakistan Writers Club, Pakistan Writers Club has a tradition of celebrating Saudi National Day in the best possible way. Today's meeting is also to celebrate Saudi National Day. So to start our Saudi National Day celebration, first I would like to invite Dr. Farah Nadia. She is the convener of Pakistan Writers Club's Ladies Chapter, and I would like to call her to express her feeling or views about Saudi National Day. Please, Dr. Farah Nadia, can you please express your feelings?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Shaheen. I
Welcome.
everyone on board, our chief guest, our keynote speakers, and all the protocols, all the guests, our members of the PWC, our patron-in-chief, Faiz Najdi Saab, Navidur Rahman Saab, and everyone who is listening to us and being part of this occasion. As previous years, we used to make this event as physical, and nowadays due to the corona and pandemic, as Writers Club always make a promise never to miss the chance to hold any occasion which is in the benefit of the Saudi Arabia along with the Pakistan people to show their love towards them. I won't take much time, just a little bit words I would like to share with all of you. As you know, this is the 91st Saudi National Day of Saudi Arabia. You can hear me very well. Can you all of you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Farah. Yes.
Speak a little louder, please.
I'm speaking without the headphones. Najdi Saab, it is okay? I'm directly
okay.
on the mic. Actually,
Just raise your voice a little bit and it's okay.
because I don't have the mic at the moment.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
It is. I would like to congratulate every one of you on the National Day of the Saudi Arabia from all of us Pakistanis also, and as we are blessed to be here as a Saudis citizen also, because it is we feel it is our first home, as it is really important for every Muslim and everyone loves to be in the Saudi Arabia, as the religiously it's very, very honor for every Muslim to be here, and Allah give us the opportunity and give our jobs here to be here in this country. And since it has been 10 years, I'm living in Saudi Arabia, and my experience, it's really fantastic. What I heard and what I visioned, it's difficult. It was really different. But while living in these years as being a doctor, serving the nation, living with the Saudi people, it's really very wonderful. Really, really very wonderful. And I wish everyone should get the opportunity, at least for 3 years, to come and live here, to see the culture, to see every aspect of Saudi Arabia. Now, a little bit about the Saudi Arabian nations. Saudi Arabia holds a great significance and unmatched importance for whole of the Islamic world. As you know that Ummah is holy place of Islam. It is country which has the holy Kaaba. It is the land where our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born and led to the rest. Saudi Arabia is concerned is the hub of the Islamic. The holy Kaaba, cities of Makkah and Medina, every year millions of Muslims come to the Makkah to perform Hajj and Umrah. But unfortunately now because of Corona, we are a little bit worried and blessed, and we have a thirst to come here and see all these live events very soon, inshallah. Now about the nation's National Day. As in the hospital, we celebrated very nicely, and it was just like everybody make me feel like that it is my country. It is not Cam Spectrates working from Pakistan and coming here. And Shine was right. We celebrated, we may bake the green cakes, we wore the green dresses and everything. About the relationship of Pakistan and the Saudi Arabia. It holds a warm relationship with Saudi Arabia since 1947 due to shared religiously and the cultural heritage. Saudi Arabia is the home to the largest number of Pakistani expatriates. Pakistani expatriates, that is the doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, bankers, labor. They have played a significant role of development of Saudi Arabia and are the great assets for Saudi Arabia. And on the return, the Saudi Arabia provided employment opportunities to Pakistani, and it's really very true. Okay, we earn and support their families back home in Pakistan. And it's really true that as being a doctor, I can promisely say that the technologies and the health system, and just like even the Tawakkalna, the app we are using for the Corona, it's really promising. Okay, they care for each and every citizen of who is in the Saudi Arabia, even he is Saudi national or not. And this is really their love towards all the nationalities living in Saudi. Pakistan and contribute heavily to the national by sending remittance to the Pakistani, and the royal family of Saudi Arabia provide moral and financial support to Pakistan. It has provided grants to Pakistan to establish international Islamic universities and Faisal Mosque in Islamabad. And nowadays I have to feel it, a lot of Saudis also love to visit the Pakistan and love to invest there and having the business. About little bit sharing, giving the views about the 2030 vision of Saudi Arabia. In its pursuit for the vision, 2030 is going through a great transformation, as now the ladies are allowed to drive the car and they're educating, even every single woman is getting the job. They are educating a lot. They are giving opportunities to each and every female, each and every person of the Saudi. They have to learn it and they have to earn it. And that's really very good of it. We have experienced a great positive change in the culture of Saudi societies. As 2030 vision, Saudi Arabia has initiated a number of projects which could provide largest number of jobs and investment opportunities for Pakistani as well. This is all little bit what I have shared my views, and in the closing, I would like to again congrats to every Saudi people, everyone here, and all the spectators in the Saudi Arabia on the National Day. We would like to pray for the safety and the prosperity of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also like to pray for Almighty Allah to please end so that COVID should end and the pandemic should be finished, so that all the Muslims of the world could easily travel to Makkah and Medina, perform Hajj. Umrah used to be in the past, now it's all standard spectators. Pakistan would return back to Saudi Arabia and they can come and go to all other countries and be here unitedly and back to their jobs, inshallah. Thank you, Shaheen, and thank you, everyone. Long live Saudi
Thank
Arabia.
you so much, Farah, for your precious words towards the country, towards the best nation, the Saudi national. So now I would like to call Mr. Faisal Najdi, who is the patron-in-chief of Pakistan Writers Club and Ladies Chapter. By profession, he is a civil and structural engineer, a freelance journalist, and a writer. remained 2 times president of Pakistan Writers Club, founded ladies chapter in Pakistan Writers Club on 15 November 2013. At present, he is patron-in-chief of Pakistan Writers Club. Sir, please come and tell us about your views.
Thank you, Shaheen. I understand there'll be many speakers after me and who have many things to talk about Saudi Arabia and Pakistan and Saudi relations, especially by our keynote speaker and by Professor Dr. Mahar Badr and Mubashir Anwar. So I would restrict to some few points only that makes Saudi Arabia unique among the Committee of Nations. I mean, many nations have a role to play towards the service to humanity or development of the world in science and technology and in other fields which benefits the humanity at large. But Saudi Arabia has a unique place because it at least two things, the two areas make Saudi Arabia unique among the Committee of Nations. One is its action of service towards humanity. That's why it's called Kingdom of Humanity. If you recall, in 2008, there was a few food crisis, and the World Food Program was running short of fund to run its own program, and there was a shortfall of about first $500 million, then it jumped to about $750 million in few weeks, and the donor countries were not forthcoming. The best donation that came was from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia contributed $500 million straight away out of $750 million. So you can imagine that it gave a lion's share to World Food Program to meet its program, international program of providing food and other things to the poor and impoverished countries. And this is not the end. I mean, as the report says, so far, Saudi Arabia has contributed about $86 billion. And this has gone as donation to 31 countries. A huge amount, $86 billion have been given out as a dole, as a donation, as an aid, and no return, no access to grind to 31 countries, mostly impoverished Muslim countries. That includes Yemen and Palestine and Syria, even Pakistan. And the other thing that makes it unique is its mission by the Ministry of Health, headed by Dr. Abdullah Rabia, the health minister. And that is about the surgery of the conjoined twins. Conjoined twins are a very unique medical phenomena in which the child, the twin children, they get conjoined together, sometime by head to head, sometime by chest to chest, sometime by pelvis to pelvis. And these children are born in poor countries who do not have the regular health facility, leave aside separating the conjoined twins. And this task has been taken by Saudi Arabia Ministry of Health since 1990s, about more than 30 years now. And 64 surgeries have been performed so far by Dr. Rabia himself alone. And many countries are indebted only because of this act of kindness and this compassionate feeling and demonstration of compassion by Saudi government. And I read somewhere that one twin children conjoined case came to Saudi Arabia about 4 or 5 years ago from Congo. And the entire tribe of that Congo where these children belong, they converted to Islam because of this act of kindness. So, I mean, the superpowers and the big countries and developed countries, they may have their own share of service to humanity or service to mankind by developing technological advancements. But Saudi Arabia has a high place on the pedestal by these two unique things. First, by contributing huge amount of fund towards humanity, and the other by performing surgery free of cost for conjoined twins. With this, I will hand over back mic to Shaheen Javed. Thank you, sir.
Shaheen, no preventing song.
We are going to present a song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The song
okay.
of this song is performed by a Saudi singer here in Riyadh, and
Okay.
actually this song is mainly focusing the hard working and diligence. Okay, and this is giving message that nothing is impossible. So this song was performed by Saudi singer here in Riyadh last year. So we will see that clip. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
السلام عليكم. Good evening, everyone. يعطيكم العافية. السلام عليكم. Today is a really special day with the greatest singer, Rahat Ali Khan. And today I'm going to sing this song for the Pakistani nation, dedication from me. So are you guys ready? جاهزين؟ جاهزين؟ ها؟ جاهزين؟ يلا. DJ, put your hands together, please. I love Pakistan. Do you love Pakistan? Again. Do you love Pakistan? That's the spirit. جذبة جنون تو همت نهار جذبة جنون تو همت نهار جو کرے وہ چھوئے آسمان محنت اپنی ہوگی پہچان کبھی نہ بھولو سب کی sing with me पाकिस्तान कभी न भूलो पाकिस्तान है तुम्हारा पाकिस्तान है हमारा Put your hands together अपना घर अपनी सरजमीं सब कुछ है बस यही होगी नहीं हमको यकीन है जज्बा जुनून तो हिम्मत ना तू जो करे वो छुए आसमान मेहनत अपनी होगी पहचान कभी ना भूलो with me सबकी नजरों में कभी ना भूलो पाकिस्तान है तुम्हारा पाकिस्तान है between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan goes years and years. बढ़ना है आगे हर कदम जब तक है हम में दम बढ़ना है आगे हर कदम जब तक है हम में दम होगी कभी हिम्मत न कम जज्बा जुनून तो हिम्मत हाथ जो करे वो छुए आसमान मेहनत अपनी होगी पहचान कभी न भूलो with me again सबकी नजरों में one more कभी न भूलो पाकिस्तान है तुम्हारा पाकिस्तान है हमारा पाकिस्तान है तुम्हारा पाकिस्तान शुक्रान thank you very much يعطيكم العافية.
Fantastic.
Or-
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now
song.
there's a commercial clip for Saudi Wings Travel.
Saudi Wings Travel, your personal travel planner. Enjoy your business and personal family trips. We offer full package from tickets to hotels and more. Call now Saudi Wings Travel, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Phone number 416-3146 or email at info@saudiwings.com.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Shine,
much, sir.
please carry on.
Uh,
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing us such beautiful performance. It was such a nice
Thank you.
sharing. Now I would like to invite our next speaker, which is Miss Kandil Ayman, and she is a senior member of Pakistan Writers Club Ladies chapter. So please, Miss Kandil, tell us about your feelings towards your great nation, Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum,
Walaikum
everyone.
assalam.
Walaikum
Yes,
salam,
yes,
walaikum
Kandil, we
salam.
can hear you.
Thank you so much, Shaheen, for inviting me. On this special day, I would like to present my short, simple poem to express my love towards this country. So this is my second home. So I really love this country. So I would like to present my poem. Roads are full with decoration. Roads are full with decoration of green flags, ribbons of a nation. Everyone is happy and smiling. Everyone is happy and smiling, busy in National Day's styling. That is the provision of peace. That is the provision of peace over the Muslim globe to bring ease. Faces our joys with lively zest. Faces our joys with lively zest. Patriotism is bubbling from core to crest. Saudia is the emblem of integrity and grace. Saudia is the emblem of integrity and grace. Its history is full with humanity's trace. It is the land of holy places and sacredness. It is the land of holy places and sacredness, of golden past, present, and future's vividness. I would like to say Happy National Day to all. I would like to say Happy National Day to all. May Almighty protect Saudi Arabia in each rise and fall. Thank you so much, Shaheen.
Welcome, Kandil, and thank you so much for your beautiful poem.
Nice.
It was really amazing. Now I would like to invite my next speaker. He is Mr. Mubashir Anwar, and he is the noted personality of Riyadh, a writer, a columnist in various Urdu journals. He is currently president of Young Journalist Society. So please, sir, kindly express your feeling
Thank you very much, Shaheen.
Saudi Arabia. Yes.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I would like to thank you, Pakistan Writers Club, President Mr. Naveedur Rahman, and Patron-in-Chief in person, especially Mr. Faizal Najdi, who always remember me on such occasions to let me explain and participate in such august ceremonies. And I also thankful to the well-known and distinguished guests, Dr. Maher Badr and Sayyid Rashid, who were here, along with other participants of this occasion. I was given the topic of Pak-Saudi relationship. What are the ups and downs in this history of Pak-Saudi relationship? To start with, let me say the same as every Pakistani has the feeling about Saudi Arabia, that it's his second home out of country. And why not I should claim it a second home for any Pakistani, for every Pakistani, especially when His Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself proclaimed that he is the ambassador of Pakistanis in Saudi Arabia in his last visit to Pakistan. This is a great honor, not for me, but for all Pakistanis. Besides our representative ambassador here in Embassy of Pakistan in Riyadh, we believe and we trust our other ambassador, genuine ambassador, is His Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman as well. Regarding Pak-Saudi relationships, many things has already been told, narrated by Dr. Farah Nadia as well as Mr. Faizal Najdi regarding the humanity and other things of Saudis. For me, I would like to explain the strategic relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia established since 1960. And since then, no doubt, we have a close relations since 1947, the inception of Pakistan. But these relations got depth established in 1960, when Pakistan and Saudi Arabia has very close ties in strategic matters, strategic issues. And since then, these relations never turn back. These are all almost growing every day, every moment. The most important relationship between the two countries, brotherly countries, it's not a lip service that these are two brother countries. It's genuinely Pakistan and Saudi Arabia are two brothers who support and stand next to each other on every single moment, critical moment, crucial moment, either at the end of the Saudi Arabia or Pakistan. Being strategicalized, Pakistan always extend its technical support, logistics support, plus the defense support to Saudi Arabia when and where it is required And every Pakistani, including the armed forces, would like to embrace and would like to have this honor to defend the integrity of Saudi Arabia at any corner, at any place, despite the fact that Pakistan has its foreign policy of neutrality amongst the Muslim countries, and especially within the Middle East countries. So Pakistan never jumped into Middle East issues, especially the Gulf countries, but at the same time, Pakistan never withdraw its support whatsoever the support required by the Saudi Arabia through its Pakistan's troop or Pakistan's foreign service or diplomatic support. It's always there for Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan never compromise on the integrity of Saudi Arabia, geographical integrity of Saudi Arabia. Besides this, Pakistani armed forces and troops are always available in Saudi Arabia to train and guide the Saudi brothers, not only in Saudi Arabia, but in Pakistan as well for their training. The armed forces, armed officers of Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, armed forces are available anytime, any place, any occasion. But this one, Saudi Arabia, we found always next to the Pakistan's strategic issues and important vital circumstances, vital points where Pakistan needs the support of Saudi Arabia, either in shape of finances or diplomatic support. We never found that Saudi Arabia is not backing Pakistan issues or any instrumental or vital moment. For example, either it's a war of 1965, 1971, Kashmir issue, or whatsoever. We found our brother Saudi Arabia backing us in all aspects without fearing or without considering any pressure on Saudi Arabia. They stand firmly to support Pakistan, especially 28th May 1998, when Pakistan exposed its nuclear weapon with all the pressures on it. It was Saudi Arabia, when Pakistan looked back, Saudi Arabia was next to Pakistan with all its support, moral, diplomatic, financial. So these are the relations which can never be ignored, and no one can bother or disturb these relations between the two brotherly countries. Anyhow, besides this, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have different geographical scenario and situation where they have their own interest, which they need to protect in different manners. And besides that, even then, considering those interests, protecting those interests, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia are always join hands for the common interest and welfare of the Muslim Ummah. Alhamdulillah. Besides this, I would like to let you know that everyone knows when we are saying that Saudi Arabia is the second home for the Pakistanis, we believe that Saudi Arabia has given this opportunity to 2.6 million Pakistanis who are serving in the development of Saudi Arabian infrastructure since decades, and it's going on. And in future, we are expecting more and more after the visit of last visit of Prime Minister Imran Khan in February or March, when they have signed this treaty, and they will expecting more and more manpower. We are contributing our role to the development of Saudi Arabia, and we expect it to be continued till it is required. In addition, during this COVID-19, the generosity of royal family, His Highness King Salman, as well as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, they have extended towards the citizens of Saudi Arabia, as well as the expatriates in Saudi Arabia without any discrimination, It's marvelous, remarkable, and tremendous, which is not seen in any other country until now. To overcome this pandemic situation in Pakistan, Saudi Arabia is still continuing to help out, assist Pakistan in various aspects, not only financially, but with the vaccine and other instruments, enhancing the Pakistan capacity to deal with this pandemic situation in Pakistan. Recently, I have read that Saudi Arabia has donated 18 oxygen plants to Pakistan, along with almost 360 oxygen cylinders, also tanks, to Pakistan to overcome this pandemic situation in Pakistan. But besides this, we know that we have lots of issues of expatriates who are on vacation to Pakistan, who are stuck, not able to come back. Saudi Arabia has initiated this further, that Pakistanis could come back swiftly, especially those who had the Saudi vaccination from 2 doses vaccination from Saudi Arabia. They are eligible to return to Saudi Arabia on the jobs. And besides this, Saudi Arabia is so kind, generous for all the expatriates, whosoever is out of kingdom. They have extended their resident permits and exit entries and other legal documents without cost by the King Salman and Crown Prince, His Excellency Mohammed bin Salman. We are thankful to them. And besides that, Saudi Arabia is now considering the international situation and geographical situations, political situation scenarios. Saudi Arabia itself is initiating to sort out the problems and rifts between the Gulf countries vis-a-vis Iran and Qatar, and Turkey, and Pakistan still also be more than happy to work for peace in the Middle East, including efforts to bridge gaps between Iran and KSA along with Turkey and other countries, if prospects for such a situation arises. Pakistan always eager to perform this role at his end. With this, I once again thank you, Pakistan Artists Club, and the King Salman bin Abdulaziz and Crown Prince, His Highness Mohammed bin Salman, to provide us this opportunity to celebrate the 91st National Day of Saudi Arabia. We love Saudi Arabia, we love Saudis, we love the holy places, and observe and opt the honor to extend our services for this holy land. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mubashir Saab. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your great analysis. Now we are going to move forward. Now we are going to request our keynote speaker, Mr. Said Rashid Al Hussain, and he is the noted Pakistani journalist and writer, energy columnist, and in Saudi Gazette, Arab News, and Daily Dawn. Lived for many years in Saudi Arabia, now resident in Canada, and writes for Toronto Star also. So welcome, Mr. Rashid. Please, mic to you.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for inviting me. Let me, at the beginning, make a confession that I wrote a script, but that script was in Urdu. I never realized then that I would be required to deliver it in English. At the last moment, I was instructed to deliver this presentation in English. And as they say in Urdu, कि सरे तस्लीम खम है जो मिजाज यार में आए. One needs to bow down to the wishes of the beloved. So I am doing it so, sir. You will have to bear with it in whatever way I could.
But your English is more than far better than Urdu, I guess.
Sir, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have spent a quarter of a century That's a very, very significant part of life in Saudi Arabia. And I have looked at Saudi Arabia, its society, from different angles, from different perspectives. I've looked at it from corporate sector, being the vice president of a leading trading and consulting house in Saudi Arabia. I have looked at it from a second track of my career as well, and that was journalism. I have been on the payroll of BBC World and BBC Urdu for almost a decade and a half. I was on the payroll of Dawn. I kept writing oil scene for Arab News for almost a decade. I kept writing energy outlook for Saudi Gazette for about 5 years. So all these 25 years that I have been in Saudi Arabia, I've been looking at it from different prisms. And I noted down a few things. I could recall, and I've been told by my friends now, that His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Sultan is loved by the Saudi youth. I've not been there. I left Saudi Arabia in 2016. So this is what I hear from my friends, both Saudis and non-Saudis, the expats. And I could see a definite reason why the bulging youth of Saudi Arabia loves His Royal Highness, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Perhaps one of the basic reasons is that he has gone against corruption. And in my 25 years, I've seen that corruption growing in Saudi Arabia at different levels. The Royal Highness is tackling that. And that indicates to me that if he succeeds, that presents a much better future of Saudi Arabia and its younger generation. There has been another aspect of it which has not been highlighted too much. That is the poverty that has been prevalent in Saudi Arabia. I could recall King Abdullah going to the slums of Riyadh, and literally he was crying when he saw the conditions in which Saudis lived, and he wanted to change that. I could recall going to parts of Medina Munawwara, let me term it, and there I could see widows living in very dilapidated conditions. So while there was glitter all around in Riyadh, in Jeddah, in Khabar, and Dammam, but at the same time there was poverty, and that poverty needs to be tackled with. I remember I was once upon a time writing a weekly column for the Gulf News, and I kept doing for a couple of years or so. And in one of the columns I mentioned that on a Thursday afternoon, I was going from my office to my home for lunch. I used to take a full day on Thursday and then taking off on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays. And on a Thursday when the roads, afternoon when the roads were empty, on the main Dhahran Street, which is now called as King Abdullah Street, while I was driving, I stopped by at the signal. And then my music was on, the humidifier was on, the air conditioner was on, and all of a sudden I hear a tap on my window while I was stopping there. And there was a Saudi begging out there when the temperatures outside must have been 48, 49 degrees Celsius. For a moment, to be fair, I was scared. For I could feel that what could be the feeling of this Saudi who was seeing an expat living this sort of life while he was begging outside. And I wrote a column on that where is this society heading to? So I looked at Saudi Arabia from different perspectives. And if an effort is now being made to reduce corruption, to reduce poverty, and if it succeeds by 2030, as is being claimed, that would be a wonderful thing what better could Saudi Arabia strive for? My hats off in that sense. Ladies and gentlemen, this program has been organized by Pakistan's Writers Club, a Pakistani organization, celebrating basically the 91st National Day of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So basically, Pakistanis are paying tribute to Saudi Arabia in that sense. But being the 91st National Day of Saudi Arabia being celebrated by Pakistanis, my focus of the presentation today would be on the state of Pak-Saudi relations. I would try to dig out, I know Mubashir Sahib spoke to some extent on that. I would try to speak out how I looked at Pak-Saudi relationship. And to be fair, I saw this relationship as a two-way relationship. It was never a one-way relationship, as some may feel. It was post-1998 nuclear blast of Pakistan that I remember Ambassador Khalid Mahmood calling me up. His tenure was about to finish. And he called me up, Rashid, I'm holding a farewell dinner. You need to be here in Riyadh. And I have always avoided going to these diplomatic functions from Khobar to Dammam, from Khobar to Riyadh just to attend a dinner. But anyway, he insisted. And I said, okay, Ambassador, I would be there, Excellency. So I went. And there was Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency Hamid Ansari was there. He was the Indian ambassador. Just during those days, Afzal Amanullah's episode, who was the Indian Consul General in Jeddah. And I broke that story on BBC when he said out something about the stampede in Mina. But anyway, that is a different story altogether. So when I went in, and Ambassador Khalid Mahmood introduced me to Mr. Hamid Ansari, saying he's Dawn's correspondent in Saudi Arabia. Now, Mr. Hamid and Excellency Hamid Ansari later on rose to become the Vice President of India as well. And when Ambassador Ansari I was introduced to him as the representative of Dawn, he said, oh my God, you people have grabbed this country. Now even Dawn has a correspondent in Saudi Arabia. What the hell are you doing out there? And of course, that was in a very light mood that he said it. But he represented exactly the feeling that others got about Pakistanis in Saudi Arabia, that Pakistanis were regarded as almost an equivalent to Saudi in Saudi Arabia. We were held at a higher pedestal. And I have been a witness to it, me and my friends. I remember post 98 nuclear blast, I went from Khobar to Jubail. And on the highway, there were police checkpoints. I stopped, brought out my Iqama, and on that Iqama, when they saw Al-Pakistani as my nationality, I said, thank you so much, sir, please go ahead, in a very smiling fashion. That was the respect. That was the relationship between Saudi Arabia, the common people, and Pakistan, and the way the Saudis felt about the Pakistani nuclear blast immediately afterwards. And then when I reached Jubail, I went to see an engineer at Alchemia, the Jubail Petrochemical Company. He was an Indian. And during course of discussion, he says to me, Rashid Sahib, this is for you, your country. You are treated differently. I couldn't have said much except smiling. To some extent, that was definitely a reality. Now, this is an exemplary relationship in many, many ways. I don't think, and I have heard diplomats saying it, that this relationship doesn't exist anywhere else, despite the ups and downs. There have been ups and downs. And there would always be. Not necessarily there would be a convergence of interest, as they call in diplomacy, on every issue. But the relationship remains exemplary. I had heard of Ibadat visas. I don't know how many people of you have heard of it. Way back in 50s, 40s, Ibadat visas and 60s. Ibadat visas were being issued to Muslims from subcontinent to come and stay in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca and Medina, for their life, the entire life, lifelong, and say prayers. Now, all of these people who used to come on Ibadat visas, they were not here for earning riyals. There was no glitter here, but they came in here because of the love and respect for Saudi Arabia, for the Haramain Sharifan that they had. So this was the sort of relationship. Many of these people wanted to get buried in Jannatul Baqi, and some of them were literally succeeded in that. I remember meeting Chacha Sharqi there, who was known as Chacha Sharqi. I don't know what his original name was. He lived in Medina, and he was buried later on in Jannatul Baqi. And in fact, when I met him, after that, I wrote a column in Urdu News as well. I was writing a weekly column for Urdu News then, and I wrote about Chacha Sharqi and his travel from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia and his stay in Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of Inam Khan. Inam Khan was a Pakistani engineer from Karachi to Saudi Arabia, sometimes in mid-60s. And Khan Saab tells me a wonderful story he used to tell me, that he went on to get his visa stamped on his passport, on his Pakistani passport, to what was then the Saudi embassy on main Shara Faisal, which was the main rig road then in Karachi, near Lal Koti. And when he submitted his passport, he was asked to wait to get his visa stamped endorsed on the passport. And after about an hour or so, he said, the Saudi diplomat wants to see you. And then the Saudi diplomat said, thank you so much for planning to go to Saudi Arabia. That country needs you. I can tell you that, look, the life in Saudi Arabia won't be as good as you are having in Karachi. It would be tougher, but you are required out there. And I would request you to stay there. Don't come back. Now, these were the people who did not come or move to Saudi Arabia literally for the glitter, for the petrodollars that perhaps I got, for which I came in, to be fair. But these were the people who came in for the love and respect for Haramain Sharifan. Some of us may have seen the riyals signed by Mr. Anwar Ali, a Pakistani who literally set up the Saudi central bank and the Saudi financial system. And the first Saudi riyals were printed out with his signature. The Pakistani health professionals set up the entire health system of Saudi Arabia. And I am told, I did not see it, but I am told that the health professionals who were responsible for maintaining the health of kings and the senior members of the Saudi royal family were mostly from Pakistan. I have another anecdote to tell. My father was the commerce editor of Morning News, Dhaka. And his senior colleague was S.G.M. Badruddin, who was the chief editor of Morning News. Now, Badruddin Saab, or I call him Badruddin Chacha Marhum now. Badruddin Chacha's one of his relatives was a civil engineer working for WAPDA, the Water and Power Development Authority of Pakistan. This is sometimes in the 50s, I guess. And one day, this civil engineer working for WAPDA was asked to go to Saudi Arabia. And think, I'm talking of the Saudi Arabia of 50s, to go to Saudi Arabia and supervise the construction of the first RCC home of a young Saudi prince. I'm told that this WAPDA engineer comes over to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, and later in that evening, he had a meeting scheduled with the young Saudi prince. In that very evening, when he goes to the batak of that Saudi prince, he was all of a sudden, he was awestruck. He was astonished to see it because behind the king, there was a big portrait of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah hanging out there. The civil engineer was, what is this happening out here? The young prince also realized that the Pakistani engineer was astonished to see the portrait of Quaid-e-Azam here. And the prince says, why are you astonished? Don't you know that what a great service Quaid-e-Azam has done for the entire Muslim Ummah? Now that was this level of relationship. And do you know who this young prince was? He was later the king of Saudi Arabia. I'm referring to King Abdullah. Ladies and gentlemen, another Pakistani ambassador, Shahid Karimullah, once told me a story that when as an ambassador, he went in to see the then governor of Riyadh, Prince Salman bin Abdulaziz. And Prince Salman bin Abdulaziz told him a story that when his father, King Abdulaziz, passed away in 1953, the only, let me underline it, the only foreign head of the state who came over to attend the funeral of King Abdulaziz was Governor General Ghulam Muhammad. Now again, this was not for petrodollars. This was the sort of relationship. And Prince Salman, the then Prince Salman and now King Salman, told His Excellency Shahid Karimullah that I was young then. And we were looking at, peeping at, that look, Governor General of Pakistan, Ghulam Muhammad is here to attend the funeral of our dad. They were so overawed by it. I'm not sure what is the exact situation today because I have left Saudi Arabia in 2016. But I know of it firsthand that in the general headquarters of Saudi Arabia, there were quite a few Pakistani Army, Air Force, and Navy officers sitting out there. No other foreign army officers were sitting in the general headquarters of Saudi Arabia except Pakistanis. Saudis also know it. Saudi government knows it very well, that if there is any situation when the Saudi integrity is at threat or the Haraman Sharifan is at any threat, it would be the Pakistani army and the Pakistani nation that would run over without any consideration to protect Saudi Arabia and the Haraman Sharifan. Everyone knows of it. Ladies and gentlemen, but definitely this is not a one-sided relationship. This is a two-way relationship. I still remember the 1974 Islamic Summit as a young teen. The Islamic Summit was people in Pakistan, and I looked at the Islamic Summit as something romantic. I still have romantic views about that Islamic Summit. King Faisal was there with his very feeble smile, which he very rarely gave, but he was kept at a great awe. In 1975, when he was assassinated, I recall I was in grade 9 then at PF Model School in Karachi. But that day, virtually every home of Pakistan was mourning the death of King Faisal, the assassination of King Faisal. He was a part of the Pakistani psychology. But as I mentioned, this has never been a one-way relationship. This has been a two-way relationship. I could still recall seeing dawn in 1974, 1975, somewhere around those times. And there was an earthquake in parts of what is now Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in the tribal belt, which was then Northwest Frontier Province, NWFP. A few villages were destroyed in that, and millions of dollars were sent by the newly emerging Gulf states where petrodollars had just started to come. And if I'm not wrong, Saudi Arabia has donated something like $10 billion for that, to help Pakistan out of that earthquake, which has hit a few, let me underline it, a few villages in the then Northwest Frontier Province. The Saudi help, the Western media has been saying it, has been highlighting it. This is not what I am saying. That Saudi Arabia had been helping Pakistan in its nuclear program financially. This is no more a hidden fact that we did receive great amount of Saudi help for continuing with the nuclear program of Pakistan. And when Pakistani was finally forced to explode and bring it in the open, the nuclear program, sometimes in 1999, if I'm not wrong, I remember being tipped off that Saudi Arabia and Pakistan have agreed upon supplying Pakistan with 80,000 barrels per day of crude on deferred payment. Now, those were the days when the entire Western world was about to put sanctions on Pakistan for carrying out the nuclear blast. Pakistan was in dire straits, and Saudi Arabia came to the rescue of Pakistan at that very dire scenario. Saud al-Faisal, the late Saud al-Faisal, went to Pakistan immediately after the blasts, and Minister Ali al-Naimi went to Pakistan to agree upon, was sent to Pakistan to agree upon that deal. Now, this is a different relationship. When I heard of that news, I picked up the phone and started speaking to Ambassador Khalid Mahmood. And I said, sir, I've gotten the news and I'm going to file this story for Dawn. Should I? He kept quiet for a moment or two and then said, Rashid, I suggest you better don't do that. I received my information. He did not confirm or deny it, but I did not report it. Now I'm speaking only about it because now it's an open secret. It's no more a secret. But then this was a brave help to Pakistan. And the reason why I'm saying it brave, because it was coming out against the wishes of virtually all the Western powers from the United States to the United Kingdom. The respect that Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan had been receiving in Saudi Arabia and the Saudi royal family is virtually known to everyone. I am told that when Dr. Khan used to come to Saudi Arabia, the princes from the Saudi royal family used to go and pay him respects. He was being regarded as their father, as a father figure in this part of the world. Now, again, this was a different relationship, as I say. Saudis have been, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, as I mentioned, have a wonderful relationship, an exemplary relationship. There may be some people sitting out here who have been pan-Islamists in some senses. I can only recall Iqbal's words that ek ho Muslim haram ki pasbani ke liye Neel ke sahil se lekar Taba Khash ke Khashgar. That may the Muslims get united to protect and safeguard the Haramain Sharifain from the shores of the river Nile to the deserts of the Kashgar. Ladies and gentlemen, from the distant land of Toronto, it's time for me to say all of you, Mas Salama. Let Pakistan and Saudi relationship grow. Let Saudi Arabia prosper and let the Saudis protect the prosperity of Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Saudi Arab Zindabad.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We do respect and admire your precious words and saying and analysis. And thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. It was really nice. So now moving forward, we are going to call our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Maher Badr. And a little profile of Dr. Maher Badr is that he is a professor retired from Civil Engineering Department at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Tehran. He is active in educating professionals working in concrete constructions and represent the American Concrete Institute in Saudi Arabia and conducts its courses and certification exams. So it's a great honor for all of us to have you on our board, Sir Mr. Maher Badr. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's quite difficult to be a speaker after Mr. Sayyid Rashid Hussain with his experience in writing and journalism. You are now going to see a different person. I am a professor. I look at things slightly different. And I always, whenever I'm giving time, I try to use it to the advancement of science and the advancement of human being. So I thank the Pakistani Writers Club and Lazy Chapter who invited me as a guest of honor to speak. And I thank the management, Mr. Yusuf, Naveed, and Ms. Shaheen. I was contacted by Engineer Faiz and Najdi, who has been in Saudi Arabia for more than 20 years, and he's with us today. And we are on WhatsApp a lot, and we talk about concrete and concrete technology and laboratories and things like this. So when he called me, I told him I am a professor. I can only talk about education. And he said, okay, let's go and talk about education. So I decided to tell everybody listening a story, and I called it my education journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize about 50 to 60 years of education journey in the eastern province of Saudi Arabia. The idea of the talk was that out of knowing a history of the story, one can get a lot of outcomes of that could be beneficial to either parents or for us adults who are guiding others. So the progress of my education is different than the progress of most education, especially in the third world countries. Even in the first world countries, the education will include a child going to elementary school, then he finishes high school, then he goes to a university, and if he's going to be a faculty member, he will go to higher education and work as a faculty in university. In some of our third world country, the system is different. He will go to school, then he is lucky to get an acceptance at the international university, and then he will become maybe famous outside his own country. But in my case, the situation is a little bit stranger because when I was ready for first grade, we go back to first grade now, I had no school in my area, which was that Dammam, Khobar, Dahran, even though we had Aramco then, which is the American oil company, just starting there. So what did my parents do? I was taught in school by a teacher for 1 year. Then my father luckily was a contractor and he built a school, which was the first elementary school in Dammam. So I joined the school for 2 years. Imagine me at that time, 6 years, going into, or 7 years, let's say, because I already finished the first class, being in a classroom where my colleagues were 6 to 18 years old, and my teacher was 13, 14 years old. So I was sitting in the chair, scared from my surrounding. I spent 2 years at that school, but it was so difficult to stay. My parents decided I cannot stay any longer. They decided to take me outside that school and send me outside of Saudi Arabia itself. So what happened, they chose a boys' boarding school, and I went there when I was in the 4th grade. And I had to leave my parents. It was very difficult for them. It wasn't very difficult for me because I enjoyed being in a boarding school, because at the boarding school, you meet students from different backgrounds, you play a lot. But the school was strict. It taught me the importance of time. It taught me the importance of going to a schedule of eating and sleeping. And the discipline is quite harsh. It's not like convincing your parents to allow you to do things. The education was relatively well, and the food was healthy. So I ended up being in a place for a number of years where now I look at it as benefits. Now, at that time, it was very difficult for my parents to leave me at the school every year. Well, to tell you the truth, whenever the time for them to go, I was so happy because I want to see my friends. And then once they went, okay, we will get together and we will see them maybe after 4, 5 months, 6 months, whatever time it was. But I was also aware at the time the financial difficulties that my parents did. But at the same time, I think it was worth it for me at least, okay? Now I reached high school, I'm ready to go to college. So I came back to Saudi Arabia. And of course, there was no universities then. But I was lucky because I don't want to go into politics, but I was lucky because at that time, the Ministry of Petroleum, Dr. Zaki Yamani, then decided to make a new college. And there was no college, nothing like this. So what he did, he brought 50 to 60 persons from Algeria, I think, and got them to the ministry and started teaching them. A year later, when I came back, he grouped 100 Saudi young Saudis who finished high school from all over the kingdom. And we started to study English. At that time, they said, you study English, and then we will start applying for you to go to America for universities. Then a decision was made to teach us freshman courses, and they brought few doctors from here and there, Lebanon, American University in Lebanon, some from Jordan. So we ended up taking 1 year of English, 1 year of freshman. Then they took us to the sophomore and they said, now you go to the States. After we finished sophomore, they said, stay. So we stayed another 3 years and we graduated as the first group of engineers to graduate from a Saudi university at that time called